In today's video, we're going to talk about the most powerful way to let go of negative emotions. I'm going to start off this video with a short paragraph from the Letting Go book by David Hawkins that I found very inspiring and is kind of spot on for what is the meaning of letting go. So this is how it goes. That letting go is like the sudden cessation of an inner pressure or dropping of a weight. It is accompanied by a sudden feeling of relief and lightness, with an increased happiness and freedom. It is an actual mechanism of the mind, and everyone has experienced it on occasion. Us as humans, we carry around with us a huge reservoir of accumulated negative feelings, attitudes, and beliefs. The accumulated pressure makes us miserable and is the basis of many of our illnesses and problems. We are resigned to it and explain it away as the human condition. We seek to escape from it in myriad ways. The average human life is spent trying to avoid and run from the inner turmoil of fear and the threat of misery. Everyone's self-esteem is constantly threatened, both from within and without. In the mechanism of letting go, as per the book Letting Go involves being aware of a feeling. So the negative feelings that are created by a moment in our lives, by other people or a situation. Being aware of a feeling, letting it come up. And this is a feeling that even just comes from a thought. Because us living in survival, 75% of our day is run by us thinking thoughts. And those thoughts create emotions. But instead of trying to control those thoughts, this is the best way to actually deal with them, is letting the thought come up, staying with it, and letting it run its course without wanting to make it different or do anything about it. It means simply letting the feeling be there and to focus on letting out the energy behind it. The first step is to allow yourself to have the feeling without resisting, because when you resist it, you end up suppressing the feeling. So that person not validating us, that person that we hit on rejecting us, we feel like that's a part of who we are as a person. We weren't good enough for that person, so we suppress it. Or we try to control in our mind. What could I have done better to make that work? What could I have done better to make that person be attracted to me? So the first step is to allow yourself to have the feeling without resisting it, venting it, fearing it, or condemning it, or moralizing about it. It means to drop judgment and to see that it is just a feeling, and that you are awareness right here and now. Observing the feeling, welcoming the feeling, and just observing it and no longer identifying with it. And no longer letting ourselves live in survival because of these negative emotions. And I was a victim of that in a lot of my life. Before I went through this awakening, before I became who I currently am on this channel. So a lot of these videos, I speak very passionately on topics, but I'm still struggling with it. I'm not better than you. I've learned a lot of the tools to deal with the stuff that we all go through as human beings, and I understand a lot about the human brain and human behavior. But I still go through struggles as well. While I'm trying to grow as a human being, while I'm trying to grow this channel and my social media pages, sometimes I end up slipping into my old vibration and thinking I'm doing things all wrong because things aren't growing. It's an attachment. When I slip into the old vibration, I become the version of Dale that is attached to outcome, is attached to growing followers and getting likes on posts. But becoming this new version of myself, I'm learning to live above it. I'm learning to live in awareness, viewing those thoughts and feelings, and being more present within the body. Being who I naturally am, and who that is to create videos because I love the process. I love the journey. I love the person I've become that makes these videos. I'm not attached to the final outcome anymore. So, and dropping the judgment, it means dropping judgment and to see that it's just a feeling. The technique is to be with the feeling and surrender all efforts to try to modify it in any way. That's us trying to control our thoughts, us trying to control the feeling. Somebody that stonewalls you or walks by you without giving you any attention, and you can tell that it's being done on purpose, is to not identify with that poor treatment, and that it's okay for those people to treat you that way. It is okay. That's coming from a place of acceptance and self-love. So this technique, the technique is to be with the feeling, surrender all efforts to modify it in any way, let go of wanting to resist it. It is resisting that keeps the feeling going. The more that we try to resist it, the more that the feeling is stuck because it's getting suppressed into the body. And that sentence right there really hits home, because before I became this version of myself, that's exactly what happened to me, is that someone was treating me in a particular way that made me feel like I wasn't that great of a person, or I wasn't in good physical shape, or I wasn't attractive enough. So I suppressed that into the body, and I identified with that person's treatment of me. But I don't condemn the feeling or that person anymore, because if that wouldn't have happened to me, I wouldn't be where I am right here, right now, in the present moment, making videos. I wouldn't have become someone who makes videos for social media and YouTube. So I thank that person for bringing me into a lower energetic field to bring out this best version of me. So when you give up resisting or trying to modify the feeling, it will shift to the next feeling, and it will dissipate from the body is what will happen. It will shift to the next feeling and be accompanied by a lighter sensation, a feeling that is not resisted. A feeling that is not resisted will disappear as the energy behind it dissipates. So that is part of the surrendering. So whenever we're trying to build a new relationship with somebody, we're trying to go after a new job, we're trying to be accepted by a new group of friends, and things don't go our way, it's to know that that doesn't create your identity. And you're okay. You're allowed to take chances on yourself, to try to create a relationship with that girl or man, or to try to talk to a few people that seem like they resonate with your energy. And really, when you change your energy, that which is reflected back to you will match it. If you're good enough for being who you are right here and now, the universe will reflect that back at you. So, each one of these feelings that come from the past in the form of anger and feeling not good enough, feeling inadequate, feeling unworthy, and it's not trying to control who you are in that moment. It's allowing the feeling to be there, welcoming that feeling, and detaching yourself from the thought that is attached to the feeling. That is not an easy thing to do, but when you can learn to just feel that anger or judgment for someone who rejected you without the thought, the feeling will actually dissipate from the body and mind by just allowing it to be there by 5 or 10 minutes. So, isn't that 5 or 10 minutes worth going through than a lifetime filled with suppressed and repressed emotion that just keeps going on and on and on, and creating the way that we react to people in our environment every day in the form of being aggressive, judgmental, resentful? Wouldn't it be easier to make connections with people if you learn to let it all go and accept and just be yourself and know that you are enough right here and now, that your life is great enough as it is, and you will be more magnetic to the type of people and opportunities that you would like to connect with? So, give it a shot this week. I highly encourage it, because all of those feelings of anger from my childhood and my adult life, from all of the failed relationships that I had bottled up, are completely gone. So I'm living a life filled with inner peace, happiness, acceptance, joy. And I found a passion for what I love to do. So instead of thinking all these negative thoughts throughout my day, I get to think in elevated emotions, elevated thoughts that are connected to my passion and purpose. And that is coming in the form of making these videos for you guys on the channel. So, thanks again for watching another one of my videos, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.